Hey guys, this will be the last video in my in year 11 biology series. And I really missed this, man. I hope I can do this forever. Joking, no. Let's just start anyways. Well, today, since it's the last subject, I'm going to go through this quite slowly. First thing, environmental change. Second, human impact, and that's about it. Environmental change um, includes the idea of succession. And there are two types of succession, primary and secondary. Easy to remember, and they're different. First, we need to know what succession means. It means replacing over time. And primary succession means you start with a new environment that has no soil. What this means is you start with a new landscape, like a newly formed landscape that has no soil at all. And this landscape could be rocky or something else. And in real life, this can form, such an environment can form, such as from underwater volcanic eruptions that sometimes make new islands. Just brand new islands coming out of the ocean from a volcanic eruption. That's pretty amazing. And usually, there will be no soil on that newly formed island. So, over hundreds of years, the wind, the rain, um, or worms, all together they erode, they break down the rock so fine until it has become a thin layer of soil. And over time, this soil, the amount of soil will grow and grow until it becomes available for plants or animals, worms, naked mole rats, such as for example. And that would be an example of primary succession, the formation of an environment that started with a new environment which had no soil. And a secondary succession starts with remains of the previous community and soil as a resource. So Australia has been hit hard with bushfires. I mean, yeah, I heard that um, basically the fire has burnt out land areas that is 5 times the size of Melbourne. That's what I heard. But yeah, it's pretty severe. And so after a fire comes through and burns through the whole forest, which used to have life, right? The aftermath is going to be terrible. I mean, just burnt trees, destroyed soil, just not good. Dead animals, dead koalas, dead kangaroos, I don't know, whatever you name, right? So it's going to start with the remain of the previous community. And hopefully, after the bushfire, the Australian forest is going to recover. And when the bio environment, what's the word? I can't remember. But basically, when the environment is destroyed and recovers, it has soil as a resource. That's what makes secondary succession so different from primary succession, because we know that life sprouts so easily in environments where there's soil, right? And so when you start with something uh, uh, that has soil, you're already hundreds of years ahead of the formation of life from primary succession. Anyways, let's go down to human impact. Human impacts. Humans can impact our surrounding environment, especially animals, wild organisms that dwell in those environments in 5 major ways. First one is over harvesting. I think I recently heard um, that a great, in fact, that a great percentage of human impact, that is negative impact on environment, comes from over harvesting. And this basically means harvesting more resources from nature then it can lose. So when we cut down a lot of trees, that usually means thousands, millions of animals will lose their home. And sometimes our environment can become so overstressed that it cannot recover from the damage that has been done to it. So that's overharvesting. Second one, invasive and introduced species. Great example is Australia. Rabbits were introduced to Australia in about 1860, and they flourished. They flourished the land, man, and they made a lot of native species go extinct, and there have been many other examples of introduced species harming the native natural environment. So that's not good. Third one, destruction of habitat. Um, for example, when there is an oil leak in the ocean, it's going to destroy the habitat for fish, sharks. Shark is a fish, and basically all animals or coral reefs in the ocean. So when that's not good. Fourth is islandization. That's basically when you cut a line in the middle of a forest. This can be putting up a fence in the middle of a forest, or building a road, or a tiny trek trail in the middle of a forest. So islandization basically means you are islandizing a single environment into different um, areas. Fifth is pollution. Pretty straightforward. You dump bad stuff into the environment, the soil, the water, the air. Pollution is just everywhere, and it's bad, and it's one of the 5 human impacts. Anyways, last biology video in year 11. Woohoo! Let's go.